Hello students, as we continue to talk about graphing, all of this chapter, chapter 4, it's all about graphing lines. And there are lots of different ways that we can graph lines. And yesterday we graphed lines from a table by looking at an equation of a line and then plugging in the x to find the y's and then graphed it from a table. Well, today we're going to look at using the intercepts to graph lines. Well, you might be wondering what an intercept is. An intercept is the point where a line crosses an axis. So if we have a very simple x, y coordinate plane, any point on the x-axis would be considered an x-intercept, and any point on a y-axis would be considered a y-intercept. Again, that's the point where the line crosses each of these axes. So this would be the y-intercept, and this would be the x-intercept. Well, let's just make up a point for this. Let's say that this is -4, 0, and the y-intercept would be something like, we're going to say it's 0, 3. Something that's important to note for y-intercepts. For every y-intercept, for every point that you find on the y-axis, x is going to be 0. That's important for the next example. And for the x-intercept, anytime you have a point on the x-axis, y is always 0. And again, that is important for the next part of this process. So for this example, we have an equation that is 2x plus 7y equals 28. And this is an equation of a line. If we would have done this yesterday, we could have plugged in an x and found what y equals and come up with a table of values. Well, we're going to do it a different way today. We're just going to find the intercepts of this line, and then we're going to graph it that way. So we'll first start with the x-intercept. We know that if we're going to find the x-intercept, that y is going to be 0. So we would do 2x plus 7 times 0 equals 28. And then 2x equals 28, so x must equal 14. So 14 is our x-intercept.
Where's your poster?
Now let's do the same thing to find the y-intercept. We know that when we're looking for a y-intercept, the x is going to be 0. So I can plug in 0 for that x, plus 7y equals 28. So 7y equals 28, and y equals 4. So 4 is our y-intercept. So again, I know that x-intercept is 14, and that 4 is my y-intercept. So I'm just going to draw a little graph here, and I know that my x-intercept is 14. So I'm going to go way out here to 14, and I'm going to pretend that that's 14, and that's where my x-intercept, and I'll go ahead and label it as 14, 0. And my y-intercept is 4, so I'm going to pretend that that's 4 right there, which means that this point would be 0, 4 for my y-intercept, and there are 2 points on my line, so I just connect those 2 points with a ruler, because that's really not a straight line at all, but I would connect those 2 points with a ruler, and there's my line. So let's look at one more example just to kind of solidify this. My equation is x plus 2y equals 4. So I want to use the intercepts in order to graph this equation. So we'll find my x-intercept first by plugging in 0 for y. Well, when 0 is y, that becomes 0, so x equals 4. So the x-intercept equals 4. Now the y-intercept is when x equals 0, so this would be 2y equals 4. So if 2y equals 4, then y must equal 2, so the y-intercept is 2. And then I would draw my coordinate plane, and I'm going to do a y-intercept of 2, so 2 on the y-axis is about right there, and then 4 on the x-axis will be about right there, and then I would try to do a better job of connecting those two dots, and there's my line through the x-intercept and the y-intercept. For your assignment, what we would like for you to do is use this equation, 3x plus 2y equals 6. Find the x-intercept and the y-intercept by plugging in 0 in the correct place, and then sketch the graph. We know it's not going to be perfect because all I need is an x and a y-axis. And then take a picture of that and send it to us as a direct post in Edmodo.